Either way, this is going to be a great set. Two characters that love to get up close and personal with you, but of course Mars sometimes will default to that very defensive style of ZSS.
Right. It's going to be interesting. Already, we see Ikan kind of taking it slow, dashing back a little bit, trying to feel it out a little bit. And Mars ends up being the aggressor here. A little early into the first 10 seconds or so, but those Zayers, if they do miss, could be pretty bad for Mars because these combos from Ikan are going to be explosive.
All right, just jumping over the fireball, trying to get this ledge trap going. Simple nair into a forward air, and we're back in the same situation.
Ooh, okay. Good damage right there on the boost kick. Still pretty early, so you don't have to worry too much about staling it. Back air is huge right there. It sets up for the side special, and Mars does not miss those.
Yeah, that Tatsu's so punishable, but of course ultimately necessary for Ryu to make it back to the stage. That is where you're going to make your money against this character. Edge guard him to high heaven.
Ooh, all right. Holding down on the side special too. The plasma whip sends up, which sets up for the up smash. Big damage already kind of lapping Ikan right here. And keeping the pressure up too. Stuck on the platform a little bit. Good stuff from Mars. Not going to go for anything too... Okay, I lied. He went for something crazy.
Perfectly timed with the focus attack. Dash cancel as well. That FADC for all my Street Fighter 4 gang out there.
Wow, throwback. It's still working out, but nice little bait and punish from Mars right there. Ikan's trying to slow it down a little bit now with those projectiles. Hopefully get something going here, but the ZSS is just pretty elusive in general, but especially when you're Ryu, you're a little slow to punish. You got to make them count. Oh, that's a good way to make it count, though.
Simple three-piece, still not enough to take care of ZSS here. Oh, and there we go. Holding B actually going to betray Mars there. It adds that extra hit and thus extra lag at the end of the plasma whip. We're going to see an up B out of shield, or maybe a true Shoryu out of shield. I don't know if he's... I think he flashed white.
Yeah. Some good ledge pressure here too, but those projectiles from Ikan have been hitting the mark. Really good insurance. Helps with the approach a little bit, but Mars is just finding all of the right hits right here. Gonna have to, just gotta pressure Ikan off stage and force the low recovery, but there's only so many tools Ryu has in that situation. You're gonna have to go down, unfortunately, because Mars has, we saw the flip kick, we saw the side special, threatening the back air and then also the down air. Really hard to work around all of that, and frankly, we could just move on to the next game, kind of reset.
Yeah, for sure. That started off very rough for Ikan. Mars able to just convert it into a full game win, and a dominant one at that. Also, I think to explain the SD at the end there, I think Ikan wanted to go for the input Shoryuken to get a little bit of invincibility on startup.
Right.
Maybe try to dodge a back air, but must have messed his input up, got a quarter circle instead of a DP, and just threw that Hadoken and died. So now we're moving on to game 2. It's going to be small battlefield. Not sure how the stage is going to affect things too much. I mean, we didn't even get to see the stage come into play last time.
Right. Very early on in the game, Mars tried to kind of set up under Hollow Bastion's platform. It didn't matter too much. It kind of all happened off stage for the most part. But these platforms could help Ikan right now. Already kind of putting that pressure on. 74 on Mars and counting with that forward air. Very big change of pace from the last game.
Yeah, love seeing this kind of opening from Ikan. A show of confidence, perhaps. And just a jab Shoryu is going to tie the knot on that first stock. Very quick, 30 seconds, and he's already down one.
Yeah, I definitely like that confidence too. A huge punish right there. The nair flip kick, still really good damage even if you don't get the crazy hitbox of it, and good pressure here at the ledge, covering that roll with the back air, and the paralyzer should do it with the flip jump too. I love it. So stylish.
Somehow that never gets old, man.
Right.
ZSS with all our acrobatics. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen that exact thing. Ooh, footstool dare out of shield. Mars saying, hey, I might have been out the game a little bit, but I am not blind to the tech that people have been coming up with. ZSS normally a character that's not too great out of shield unless you're right in that boost kick range. So having a 4-frame option like that footstool down air that covers a little more space, that's super good.
Wow, and Mars' defensive options in the middle of these combos is pretty great too. Fading out just outside of that range and then punishing accordingly. Good get-up attack though to break up some of the momentum. And I could say the same thing for Mars, taking notes from each other. Ooh.
Back air straight to the skull, and Mars is suddenly back in this one. And wow, quite seriously at that. He's got a percent lead and a lead trap going. Ikan gonna find his way back to firm ground though.
Okay, good down smash from Mars right there, but wow, that was such a brave jump in that spot. Good stuff from Ikan, finding the opening, keeping that pressure up, but so many options from the ledge. This huge opportunity here, and Ikan will cash it out. Great punish. Down to the last stock here for Mars.
That was so huge right there. Normally, multi-hits like boost kick will rip through the focus attack, but I guess the re-hit rate is too slow, plus that additional hit lag you incur when you collide with focus. So good recognition by Ikan, just going to pick up a simple punish, put himself up a stock yet again.
Yeah, this is exactly what Ikan wants here. We have a little bit of an opportunity to build a lead here, get some extra percent before you lose that stock, and of course the combos are going to be a little more painful with all the extra percent. But good stuff from Ikan, taking it slow. Unfortunately, though, that forward tilt's such a good tool, and doesn't go down, though. Still holding on.
Nearly max distance on that down smash, too. Phenomenal stuff from Mars, trying to fight his way back into the lead, or at least a tied stock situation.
Oh, okay. Another Brave Plasma Whip. Good damage right there. Just a little 3-piece combo with the Tatsu. Gonna fight back, and that time the boost kick was a little bit higher up where those hits are a little more frequent. That one's gonna count. Good stuff from Mars.
Yeah, last time he just passed him right on by as he was rising, but Ikan too high in the air to get away with it this time. Once again, stocks are even, percents are not. Ikan one good confirm into a Shoryuken away from doing this. You see him going for the up airs. The first hit will very easily cancel into the sweet spot of that move.
Right, and we're kind of seeing those platforms work out too. The up air is so threatening right now, definitely more so than we usually would see from Ryu, but good stuff from Mars. Baiting out that punish right there on the approach. Oh, the platform tech too. This is so tough right now.
Such a good call out with that grab. Obviously a lot of risk associated with throwing out a tether, especially against someone who can get in there and punish like Ryu. Hold on, spike into the ground. Ikan can finish the game off this ledge trap. ZSS has so many tricky options. That Zair definitely in the mix as well.
Okay, still stuck on the platforms. Once again, the flip jump was pretty ambitious, but Ikan still taking it slow, not going for anything too risky right now, just kind of trying to hold down that stage control. And what a reversal right now. Back in center stage, forcing Mars off the ledge, but once more the down special figures it all out. Back to center. This is so tense right now. They're both looking for that big hit, but safely. And the up smash does not do it.
I was going to say, there's no way, right? Ryu's such a tank.
I was still so worried, but now we got that vertical pressure from Mars. Huge focus attack right there to take back center stage. And they're back to that neutral right there, but the raw Tatsu also does not do it.
Great DI right there, sticking to the top left corner. Oh, the boost kick is going to poke through the stage as well. Ikan thought he was safe to start initiating a ledge trap. Oh, and
no.
the double down angle forward tilt. The second one's going to connect. Ikan runs out of invincibility due to his percent being so high.
Unbelievable interaction right there. So many tense moments, and like you said, because of all of those close calls, the percent was just racking up, and Mars knew that it was an issue that we couldn't take too long to think about, and that impulsiveness worked wonders for him in game 2, but huge change of pace, as I mentioned, from game 1. Ikan is figuring some stuff out, playing in a pretty sweet spot in terms of spacing too, forcing some options from Mars and then punishing. Like the plasma whips that we saw work out in game 1 were getting punished by just a good jump in forward air from Ryu. I'm really interested to see how the rest of this game goes. It's getting tense right now, and we're going right back to small battlefield.
That last one just felt so within reach for Ikan, and he was in the lead for the majority of the game, but Mars, obviously a veteran, been doing it big since the beginning of Smash 4. Ikan a little bit later to the party when it comes to these big tournaments, so obviously that experience pays off. You're ready for these situations.
Back to some good old-fashioned neutral as they start, just really feeling each other out, and then both players are so good at keeping up that momentum once they get that opening. Honestly, the ledge pressure, too, for both of them is pretty wild as well. Mars keeping Ikan at the ledge for the first 30 seconds, and a wonderful back air right there.
Basically not allowing him to play the game. Sneaky by Ikan, though, saving that double jump, almost playing dead off stage. Gets just one meager hit in for 10%. Oh, and the weak hit right there on the plasma whip, almost sending him at an unfavorable angle. But again, he's keeping his resources intact exactly as long as he needs to. He's making sure he can get back to the stage, if nothing else.
Yeah, really good routes here. Always picking the right option, but that will do it. And what a way to finish it, too. One more down angle forward tilt for the fans. Pretty clean stock for Mars, only 10%, and trying to keep it up right now. But the stage control is so important here. Both players are so good at holding center stage. As I say that, though, they're fighting over it pretty viciously right now.
Got the Shaku Nets, Hadouken, opening up Mars just a little bit, but obviously you're going to need more than some fireballs to bring yourself back into this one. I'd say the doctor's calling for 20% into a Shoryu, into some other kind of big opening. Yeah, right off the jab is still not going to be enough. Damn, tough break for Ikan here.
That's tough right now. Only 91%. You're looking for a little bit more before you can follow through on that doctor's order, but it's kind of tough right now. Mars is playing a little defensively, a little reactively, and at like such a rough range for Ryu now with all of those Zairs. Finally, though, stuffing out the approach with the forward air and the huge roll in working out for Ikan right there, taking that stock and evens it up. And we've seen some pretty explosive strings, even at low percents from Ikan. One misstep from Mars, maybe a plasma whip the wrong way. That could get it started.
Only 17%. I mean, it's crazy that the forward air on its own does that much damage, but of course, when you're playing these Shotos, these fighting game characters, you want to be taking 4 or 5 hits per exchange, and that's the only way you can keep up against some of these more long-range and faster, evasive characters.
Right. You can take like 15 Zairs, and then one combo back, you're about even. So kind of what we're seeing right now. Mars trying to play it safe right now. Nice back here to open up the stage. Stuffing out that approach from Ikan, who kind of has to make something happen right now, but still pretty good about taking it slow, even despite that sort of urgency that we're feeling.
For sure. Oh, and Mars, he is so keyed in. He knows exactly when to use these multi-hits to call out the focus attacks. Almost dying to the Shoryu, but yeah, of course, going to need just a little bit more damage. Ikan could end it in the next exchange if it's into the Shoryu. Tatsu not going to do it for quite a while.
That was another Plasma Whip as well, and Mars maybe trying to find that stock a little too soon, too fast, and Ikan just back-to-back jab, Shoryu. Mars does even it up one stock apiece, but the momentum has shifted pretty drastically. It looks so Mars favored. Now I'm kind of feeling like Ikan might take it to a game 4. Oh, huge.
We saw similar notes to this last game. Of course, it's Ikan who's been playing catch-up most of the time here. I don't know, maybe he'll have a little reversal of fortunes. The ledge trap, the center stage control, looking good for him until Mars is able to burst through.
Right, and even those focus attacks, those up airs from Zero Suit are just so fast. Mars has time to land and throw out another one before Ikan can really do anything. But the Tatsus, the Hadokens, everything at that mid-range, Ikan is finding the mark with right now, keeping some good damage up. And Mars racked it up 80% on Ikan all of a sudden.
We saw him throw out that heavy forward tilt, trying to break his shield and his collarbone right there. Not quite going to work out, but maybe this ledge trap will. Ikan, eyes glowing red, knowing that one jab could be his opponent's death.
Oh, wow, that was so ambitious. I like the idea, trying to stuff the approach, because Ikan has been kind of holding forward for the most part, but just one up tilt, taking it slow, big forward air to punish that Zaire, and Mars on the back foot here. Oh, my God, these are so close to killing already. Just up air.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ikan didn't pull the trigger on a Shoryu right there. Could have been death, but of course, he was drifting through him. He would have maybe had to reverse it, and it was just kind of an awkward angle to get the confirm. So Mars with another lease on life here. Lights going off in the venue. Oh no. What's going on? Lights coming back on. Hopefully this doesn't affect the players too much.
Should be all right. Mars once again going for a crazy side special, trying to punish with those down smashes, and Ikan throwing out an up smash in neutral as well. They are looking to make something happen right now, but Mars going back to that mid-range, and Ikan trying to put the pressure on the shield.
No!
And what the dash attack?
That had to be a side B or something, some kind of misinput, just tournament nerves. I mean, we were talking about how Mars is a veteran of the game, but no one is immune to spaghetti in a big moment like that. Sometimes, you know, it's actually harder to close out a set that you have a big lead in than to make a comeback, right? Like, that's when a choke can very much happen.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about in terms of mentality. You know, sports coaches or sports, psychologists more specifically talk about it a lot too. If you're kind of expected to perform in a situation, it's actually harder sometimes to do what is expected of you. There's a lot more pressure when you're the favorite in certain situations, and I don't have time to talk about it in one commentary block, but I kind of understand how certain situations unfold that way. But Ikan is happy to move on to this next game, and the crowds, I'm sure, are pumped to see here. Game 4 on Pokemon Stadium, pretty solid counter pick. A little more room to work with, and hopefully it could work out for Mars to kind of keep that space that we've seen work out so far in the set.
Yeah, I think Mars was clued into the fact that Ikan would prefer a smaller stage based on the small battlefield counter pick. Of course, this is, I think it's the longest legal stage, so we're going to see him pick this one, run away a little bit more perhaps, but so far it doesn't seem to matter. It's Ikan who's actually gotten the better of these early exchanges. Hold on, that could all change very quickly with an up air strength.
Right, all of that vertical pressure and the vertical combos we saw from Mars are just so much damage so fast as well. Ikan had a roaring start for the first 30 seconds or so. Mars kind of answering back here, trying to bring it closer, but it looks like they're both kind of slowing down. Mars is happy to take those strings, but not going to overextend, because if you do make one misstep, Ikan is going to make something happen.
It's just been those jabs into Shoryu all set, HE, taking almost every single stock for Ikan here. Of course, back in the day, it used to be like up tilts or down tilts into Shoryu, but you're starting to see the ultimate Ryu players really favor the jab. It's very, very reliable.
And relatively safe as well. Speaking of jabs, Mars throwing one out to get Ikan off the stage. Going to try and make something happen with the ledge, but the timing on that focus attack was stellar. Near perfect as well. Mars trying to still put the pressure on with those plasma whips. Despite how committal they are, we've seen some missteps, but when they do hit, perfect angle to send at, and a perfect follow-up as well off stage. Unbelievable, Max.
Mars barely taking any scratches, trying to peel the stock lead back. Does exactly that. Now that they're on even footing, I'm curious to see who's going to make the first breakaway. It's really gone pretty back and forth, and I feel like if Game 2 had gone the way of Ikan, we'd be potentially looking at a Game 5 right now.
Definitely. I think we still might be looking at a Game 5 too. Ikan looks very confident. I can see it in the approaches as well. Barely mistimed that focus attack. That would have been a huge punish, a lot of damage, possibly the stock as well. So you can see Mars is like, all right, I need to slow it down a bit, back to those Zaires, but it's still finding those openings.
Oh, the down B footstool going to go through, but Ikan mashing out in time not to get hit. Okay,
wow.
How's he going to get back on stage? Ryu, I would say not the scariest ledge trapper in the game, especially when you got additional mobility options like down B from Zero Suit. But still, the price to pay for one correct guess from your opponent is very high.
Yeah, we see Ikan kind of stay at that roll distance because that way you can kind of cover the flip kick or the flip jump if we see it as well. But then also just go in and dash after the get-ups, the regular get-ups as well. So ledge pressure still continuing with Mars. Nice reversal as well, and that was so bold to hold onto the focus attack for so long. It may cost him the stock here. Mars on the hunt. And there it is.
Footstool! He was playing with his life right there. I don't think down B could have given him enough height, especially due to the weird underside of PS2. That could have been fatal for Mars, but instead, he knew exactly where Ikan would be drifting. All right, back up a stock here, potentially shutting down this Game 5 hope from Ikan.
It's going to be close, but what a response from Ikan. Immediate up smash right there to even it up. Mars comes down swinging off the platform, and they are fighting it out in the center stage right here. What the down angle F tilt down smash clang?
Parry into spot dodge from Ikan. Can't imagine that was what he was looking for either. Maybe a down tilt, but he was tweaking and held shield. I don't know. Actually, you can't even spot dodge with the C-stick in this game.
Right. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I don't even think the players are very sure either. They look like they wanted to take a second, go back to that, slow, nice neutral that they were used to, get a moment to compose themselves. With Mars now on the attack, huge opening with the Zair and the throw. We've always talked about how good they are at fighting for the stage control, and that jump in was a little bold. Mars is racking up the damage right now.
Okay, the back air to knock him off stage. Flip jump to reset. Such a good tool for ZSS to just get back to center, right? Whether you're on offense or defense. Okay. Right now, Ikan fighting for his life. Takes a fat 17 off the Shaku nets right there, but still not enough to put Mars in kill range.
We see Mars looking for those Zairs. That, I don't know about that projectile right there. And these focus attacks are so brave too, but gets the shield up in time. Fighting back right now, 52 and counting. Mars on the back foot kind of taking it back. Trying not to go too crazy with it. But Ikan off the stage, the plasma whip does not do it yet, but it might be it. Makes it back.
He's shown so much prowess at dipping underneath that Tatsu, connecting those back airs. Gonna miss one in a big spot right there. That could have been the set. Ikan, one more chance to make this comeback.
All right, Mars throwing out the back airs, but it's gonna be the forward air into the back air to seal the deal. So stoic in the face of so much danger.
Is there a mic up there? I think there is, and I think I heard something out of Mars. I think I heard two things from Mars. The second one was definitely the woo, but I don't know if I should repeat the first one. Hey, good to see him in good spirits, though, because I think, in such a tense situation like that, it's very easy to get put on the verge of tilting or something like that, but obviously he's feeling himself. He's feeling the vibes right now. Great stuff from Mars. Letting you all know that he's still got it, right? A couple months off the circuit, so to speak, and it doesn't look like he's missed a beat.
No, and definitely also showing up back in New England as well to a couple of the smaller, regionals or monthlies or whatnot, and he looks so comfortable with it. It's good practice up there too. New England's a pretty solid region as well, so it's good to see him come out, just keep the hands warm a little bit and then still put on a show when we're traveling down to Collision. So love that footstool right there. Great stock to pick up, and just a Mars classic, if you will. So very on brand.
Yeah, right. He's definitely a daredevil off stage, and I mean literally like DAIR devil sometimes. Known for those stock trades, known for those risky plays, but you can see when things are tense and it's the neutral situation, or he's like ledge trapping and just trying to keep it easy. Right. He's really good at that too, and I think that hot and cold playstyle has really lent itself to great success with a character like ZSS. She could either turn it up to 11 or just ice you out completely.
Exactly. That's what's so good about Mars is like sometimes you do have to go to that neutral, but his punish game is where like the aggression comes out.